Hello, Merriam. It's about 7 o'clock on June 3rd, 2026. Getting ready for the Planning Commission meeting. Howdy. You tearing down the garage over there?
Yeah, that's the plan.
I don't think I've ever seen it filled up.
Not exactly.
Was it something that was required by code to build in the beginning?
No, I mean, when it was built, retail was in a different space back then.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was built with room to grow, actually. It was actually going to be an addition onto the building. But
level.
none of the buildings we have in the U.S. right now are, the foot traffic isn't what it used to be 15 years ago. So now it just costs more for us to maintain than it does to just scoot it off, and we can do like farmers markets and stuff there. Like
that'd be really cool.
We want to do some stuff there, but it needs to go. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not safe in the future.
Fair enough. Well, enjoy.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, we're in it tomorrow night. Yeah, it's not dirt, but it's fresh.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
I don't know if Michelle Franks worked that, but she was in Johnson County for a little bit, and then once she only has planning director there retired, she had Mark.
Yeah, Mark. No, I pulled them off whenever I found them. I love that shirt, man. Thank you. Yeah, sure, sweet. Thank you. Yeah, love to. I'm good. Same stuff, just a lot of work. Trying to get things done so I can retire at 20 years, 9 months. Who's counting, right? Who's counting? Yeah, everything's good. I appreciate the various emails.
Howdy, Bill.
Thanks, Figure.
Close up downtown.
Start dates. Okay, well, I got some more for tonight, so, we will chat some more about those. I should, even Bill, I'll try to put a calendar in my, I'll actually try to.
Start of your summer. It'll be different than spring. It doesn't. Yes, I hit my 1 year.
Probably not.
Anniversary,
No, it was actually a pretty small team.
Oh my God.
So actually, I was
Wow,
before this
that's
meeting,
crazy.
I was writing down my notes
That's
before I
wild.
talked about it. I actually had the thought.
Thank you. Excited, like 1 year down. 20 hours.
I'm gonna put my calendar out
I
there.
know, when you do that, that long range map, you're like,
My email, so I keep those like.
I can't wait to get to what he just said,
Exactly.
1 year, and, yeah. Yes.
I use a lot.
I am at that age where I have had several
Everybody
started
almost
doing
loves
rehab,
me because they're like,
like
man,
they were
we're just gonna,
retired.
yeah, I got
And
that. Give me a
it's
minute.
funny
Yeah,
because
that's exactly what it is.
I'm not
Yeah,
the
we're
younger
younger,
people,
but
like
it's
that
like-
young group of
it's
people,
all
or
you
like
look
that
at.
maybe that
It's
middle
good.
age
Yeah.
of people. And so you like excited for ones that are like getting married, having babies, and then
So
the
I
ones that are
will- I
retired,
will
like I
put
know all of
the-
them,
I will
and
try
then
to do
it's
that
just that
in
funky, that weird
Yeah.
memory, yeah. But to
No, we're in it.
know, like,
So it's
because
not-
I remember
I
just
mean, that
even
big
5,
one
6 years
comes
ago,
out
people that
of
retired, I was like, oh, I kind of know who they are, you know. And I'm like, no, these are my people. What's happening? What's happening? You can't leave. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's next Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Our life
It is,
Fine.
it is.
I'll
And
try
you
to.
know, like you said, you're not that, and they're gonna be not as seasoned, but you are that person that goes to person.
Yes.
They're gonna come and ask them, so if we're gonna do
That is
this,
gonna be
they'll
the
say,
one-
hey,
yeah,
I
that is
know
gonna be
Kelsey,
the
I
one
know
opportunity
Kelsey,
to
right, that
see
conversation.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
So you are in,
presentation.
right where you need
And
to be.
you're-
You're not there and retired, but you're not fresh.
Yeah,
We don't know.
still have energy to like know what's going on and wanna like be still vibrant about things, not crazy about anything. Yeah.
Exactly, like you're in a good place.
Yeah.
Like you're like, you know, I'm so excited, I'm here, I'm present.
Yeah.
You know, what you're ready to do, and
Um,
you still that go-to person.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, yeah, yeah.
So it's gonna be.
It is, yeah, it is, but it's just like that realization of
Yeah.
like,
But it's gonna be.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, questions
Yeah.
council has.
For
It's
sure.
always
Yeah,
meeting,
yeah.
and then we'll have
Do you
an
have
open
kiddos
house,
or
right?
anything?
It's always got-
Yeah.
The core will have different stations for people to go ask a question.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how that can go. So it's
I,
good. Yeah, so that's gonna
very
give people a great
into
opportunity to post the questions.
and an
people may have.
adjustment
We're
to
gonna be,
kid shuttling and like all of that.
specifically about the
That's
property.
all.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
my property right here, how does that affect you? And that's an important question, and it should be answered.
Yep.
But
Yep.
everybody else doesn't want to hear it.
It's-
Cause they're gonna be like, hey, I got the same question, it's like this.
It's good, but it's been an adjustment for
So
sure.
it's gonna be
because,
really good.
you
So it's
know,
gonna be
you
really
know,
good. So that means still
Yeah,
things are
uh-huh.
good. So it shows up, see the core stuff.
It's been really good. It's
Yeah,
been
it's
really
probably-
good and,
That's
it's
probably
been fun, but I kid shuttled all day today, and like I got home.
We're getting changed, it was.
And I gotta come here.
We're getting to that quarantine.
Yeah.
It's a different level.
Yeah. Because I mean, like,
It's almost really turned out like that. They will have the opportunity to bring it out like that.
Yeah.
my question is how old are you?
She's 9, and so.
That's a fun age.
Yeah.
It really is,
Yeah.
yeah, it really is, but, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I like turning it down, so.
But yeah, but it's lovely. I mean, we were at the pool last night, and we were sitting there, and I was like,
No, I thought
"You're
I
exhausted,
know
this is such a
Yeah.
good-"
There we go.
Save it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
for the plane it safe.
And it's cool down at the community center. It's lovely. I love it.
Transparency.
Yeah, it- oh my gosh. I love it.
Yeah.
The slides, the environment, it's just so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's busy.
It is busy.
When we drove by today, all of our
But
training
several of
about,
these, it'll be
like,
actually
Fairway
posted
School and Prairie
on
Village
the
School,
website.
and it's just like ants.
Go out and
And I'm like, cause several of her friends, they live like in the Brookside area,
Okay.
so they have passes at Fairway or, Prairie Village, and
Could that
we
be?
go in there, and I'm
Can we
like,
send everybody a link to that?
Yeah.
and after seeing all the people, I'm like,
Ours is perfect.
It's actually,
Yeah.
it's, sort of.
Yeah.
I'll do a report on
So
it.
it's a lot of people, but it's not too much.
Council package
Yeah.
is supposed to have
Yeah.
some really complicated, really
yeah,
nice.
well, we were there yesterday, and there was a, they
Illustration.
said where they had to leave the pool for 45
And then you got
minutes, so they filtered,
Ah.
and then everybody was like inside,
So I was
and
there.
so the pool, and they went to the other pool, yeah, it was great, it was lovely. It made it really nice, cause she's old enough now where she could go in there, and I don't feel like I have to sit in there with her. And so I like laid and read my book, and there were like 6 of us in the chair.
All the way up here.
Yeah, yeah,
Our pool.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went,
I would agree, yeah.
pretty much, we went to the vineyard, walked over, and then we went to
And I still.
and yesterday was the first.
You too.
Hi,
nice to meet you. Pretty straightforward. So we have one item, it's just residential. Yeah. Any questions for us at this time? All right, hopefully we're out of here.
You won't believe,
You know, we're gonna put fuel rod on and everything. We're looking at Dell's or, unless you know one, Dell came in, that's what I'm trying to get at.
As long as council, you're constantly being barraged with our desire to make that project. That's, that's all we just have. Even the most important thing.
it was quiet.
Uh-oh.
You know, I've never been there, like that, because it's old. And like, all the buildings, ancient. No modern, cars.
I was ready to come and say, and I looked at the email address and
So as long as you do this. I call her and see what.
I was driving home from like, from work, and I was like, oh.
Just what we say,
You know what,
the city,
we're gonna hold
the city
our
here.
third, and everybody else is next to the dollars, so I just like.
City leaders can
So yeah, perfect, we're all good. It's a common thing that's been going around, so.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, however, it's.
It's kind of been over the last year and a half.
We did leave the
Yeah, a lot of it is one of these events, dealing with publications within like the professional circles about it. I just thought we got, so I just do one item. Yeah, but I was on my way out, I just like, so, okay,
It is not complicated. Okay, well, I got it. Here we go.
Ready, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll call to order the June 3rd, 2026 Merriam Planning Commission meeting. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the recording secretary please state roll?
Bill Bailey,
Here.
Anita Dillon. Here. Mitchell Flower,
Here.
Russ Harmon. Kelsey Miller.
Here.
Sarah Limbacher.
Here.
Sean McConnell,
Here.
Daniel Molina,
Here.
Cole Stevens.
Here.
Thank you. The commission members have received a copy of the minutes from the March 4th, 2026 meeting. Are there any comments or corrections? I'm looking here, Brian. It's over this afternoon. Refresh my memory. Is there a motion for approval?
I would move to approve the minutes of March 4th, 2026.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the first item on the evening's agenda is PA 26000002, Gardner's 53rd Street addition, a request for approval of final plat for property located at 9516 West 53rd Street. Mr. Dyer.
Good evening, Planning Commissioners, Chair Brian Dyer, Community Development Director. For this evening, for this item, planner Andrea Morgan is going to do the presentation to you, so I will let her take it from here.
Hi, good evening, Commissioners. Andrea Morgan, planner. As introduced, the following is a request for a final plat of Gardner's 53rd Street addition located at the northeast corner of West 53rd Street and Garner Street. The subject property is highlighted here in yellow on your screen and is zoned R1 single family residential. The plat will create two single family residential lots that are both 16,504 square feet. Both lots meet the bulk requirements for the R1 district, and as noted in the staff report, the existing residential structure located on the east side of the property does not meet the current setbacks, but an additional 5 feet of right-of-way is being dedicated along West 53rd Street for a total of 30 feet of public right-of-way, and 5-foot utility easements are being dedicated with this plat along the perimeters. And staff recommends approval of the final plat of Garner's 53rd Street addition with no conditions. That concludes my presentation, and I'm here for any questions.
Does the commission have any questions for staff?
Just the access was the only thing I just wanted to make sure I clarified clearly how that division is. So the access to the current house is on 53rd Street near the corner of 53rd and Garner, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And that will remain, and then a new access point for the new lot will be off of West 53rd Street as well.
And just to refresh my memory, is there any restrictions on how far from each side of that plat dimension that driveway can be? Is it seven feet or?
So, the new driveway, the new driveway has to be at least 3 feet away from the property line. And then also we typically want to see the driveway returns that are in the right of way also stay on the property as well. So that will come in obviously when they come in for the building permit. Yeah, a minimum of 3 feet of green space is required between the property line and the driveway.
Okay, that was it.
Any further questions for staff? Hearing none, does the applicant, is there an applicant here? Nope. Do you wish to make a presentation for the commission?
I don't have anything to present. I'm just here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. there a motion?
Yeah, I would, move that the planning commission approve PA 26-000002, Garner's 53rd Street addition final plat, forwarded to the city council for the acceptance of right-of-ways and easements.
Did you say staff recommendation?
There weren't any, but I can add that.
If there wasn't any, but still, no staff recommendations.
Correct.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say aye. Opposed? Next order of business is PUD 26-000001, final development plan for IKEA located at 6000 IKEA Way. Mr. Dyer.
So this next item is a request for a revised final development plan for the IKEA store. I think we're all familiar with the locations right there to the north of us. And what it's requested for is to remove the structure for parking structure over there. When the project was originally built, part of that included the construction of a parking structure. It's approximately approximately 65,000 square feet. The structure is, per the applicant, has ended its lifespan. It's also become a maintenance problem, and it's generally not used. The applicant also provided a statement stating that while the removal of the parking structure will take them under the required parking for code, they're comfortable with the amount of parking that will remain there, and comfortable that the amount of parking there will serve their customer needs. Also, anecdotally, it has been staff's observation that that upper deck is not frequently used, if at all, for customers. And as well, it has been closed off for about a year and a half, I believe. So, obviously, it has not affected the operations for the property in regards to parking availability. So again, mainly, this request is to take that down. They will be putting back in landscaping and improvements in that area as well, so the parking that's existing there will remain. But again, the structure's in this, at the end of its lifespan, to keep it going to require major renovations. So that's a request for removing the parking structure. So, happy to answer any questions that planning commissioners may have.
So we'll get a full set of revitalization drawings, we'll call it that.
Yeah, right, correct. So this was just simply final development plan. The plans that they provided show removal of the structure, but when they will be providing more detailed plans in regards for building permit application plans. We've already had conversations with them. Building officials already had conversations with IKEA and their design team in regards to making sure that they provide information how they protect customers, how they're going to handle traffic, all those aspects that come with the building permit. So they're already, those conversations are already started, and we're confident that we will be able to provide the information we need to make sure that customers are safe during the deconstruction of the parking structure.
So, is there any issues with surface drainage by opening that up?
So we had,
Acre drainage, or whatever they call it.
so we had them review that, and they had their engineering team review exactly that aspect of it, and they provided us with the statements that the drainage, existing drainage that is there will be able to handle it, and they feel that it's adequate for it will serve the site and provide adequate drainage once the structure is removed.
Now, does it go to the retention pond?
This is a unique situation, not to get too far into it, but this is upstream detention. The upstream detention of this is located way up behind the Chevrolet dealership. So So that's where that is. It is really, really interesting, stormwater plan for that whole site. Not only IKEA, IKEA owns that, upstream detention, but it also provides detention for the majority of that new development, newer development to the south, so.
So was there any indication of what year, 100-year rain capability?
Oh, for the, so
Opening it up, so that, cause that's really gonna add some load.
So this is not gonna add any, this is actually gonna be a small decrease in impervious surface by doing this. Yeah, it's gonna be a small decrease in impervious surface. So this actually, again, it's a very small decrease, but actually, should, have less stormwater going to the storm sewer system. Cause they're gonna put back in some green space in the strip there, right, on next to it.
That'll all be irrigated and all that.
Yep.
And they have new lighting and all that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Does the commission have any other questions for staff?
Was there any discussion about the timeline, like how long?
I think that'd be a great question for the applicant, cause yeah, again, we've started those discussions now, because that level of detail, but, great question.
Will there be a reduction in accessible parking with the removal of the structure?
I don't believe there is any accessible parking up there on top, if I remember correctly. I don't think so. It's all underneath the actual store along the, that east side.
How old is the current, how long has it been around?
So it was constructed when the building was constructed, which is 2014, yeah, 2014.
Is that about the typical length of a parking structure? Cause it doesn't seem that.
This one is also unique in that there was actually, I don't know how to say this, it had some problems when it was built originally. They had some structural failures of it, so they had to redo it in a big way. And they might, IKEA folks may be able to elaborate a little bit more on it, but let's just say they get off to the best foot, off on the right foot.
Any other questions for the staff? Does the applicant wish to make a presentation?
We don't have anything formal, but happy to answer any further.
We'd like to have you come up, whoever's representing, give your name and address, and phone number. Let the commission people, if they got any questions.
Blaze McCoy with Kimley Horn, 7300 College Boulevard, Overland Park, Kansas. Willing to answer any questions you guys might have to defer to IKEA if need be.
Commission?
Yeah, I've got one, could evolve into one. It does sound like you guys are planning on a certain amount of green space, which would marginally decrease the amount of stormwater runoff, so absorption with this opportunity, because currently there's none, since it's a concrete parking garage. So that seems optimal. Is that correct in what I'm hearing, that you intend to add a certain amount of green space within that parking?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. That was my primary one.
Well, along with yours, Sean, I'm still trying to get my hands wrapped around how we will reduce stormwater drainage from the surface that if we had green space, I don't know, I guess it'll come in on the plans later down the road.
And I don't know if you had answered my question about the timeline, how long it would take to remove the structure and obviously repave and finish the next one.
I can defer to Doug if you know how long maybe the
I was thinking it would
demolition
probably
would be.
be 6 months from start to finish.
And piggybacking on that question, are there any considerations, just given the amount of foot traffic at the community center, the library, as far as the timing of the demolition and noise and air pollution?
We're trying to make sure that we have passed the FIFA coming to town. We want to go before we want to do anything at a time. We want to take care of
Can I get you to come to the microphone? We do record, no,
Please.
that's fine, sorry, no, apologize.
Please state your name and address and.
Doug Worstow, 9 Oakdale Drive, Lexington, Missouri, for IKEA facility manager. So going back to that, we want to wait until after FIFA has come and gone, take care of our customers in a good way. And then once that has happened, going into probably September time, October, we would like to begin this demolition, work it through whenever the foot traffic has slowed down. We generally see a downslide in our customer base after September. So it'd be an optimal time for us as we don't need the space. We can block everything off, maintain all the dust and everything as we're taking it down, keep everything clean, and hopefully be in and out, like I said, within 6 months. So in the spring, we are planting our flowers and making it pretty for the city, and everything's good to go. And then that's our goal, is to have that done by spring next year when we start picking up our business.
What you mean to know that they're taking it down?
We haven't quite, identified those means and methods yet, but we'll have to be getting some pricing from the contractors and whatnot.
So right now, you don't know if we're gonna do a hoe or jackhammer hoe, or we're gonna
Well, there was
saw cut pieces out of it, drop it, or?
I assume they're gonna have a crane out there and we're gonna take it piecemeal off because it's all precast concrete, so we can take it up in sections to build minimum, the dust comes with minimum destruction down. And then once we get down to the corbels and everything like that, it's from the floor, then we'll have to jackhammer them down and take them down to the base and then do the repaving at that time.
Take the base down a little, so.
It's, that way it's still there, it's solid, and we can, put the asphalt over the top of it. Work on our drainage, revamp all that, make it, all the tops, put new tops on and everything, make it all clean. So that when we're done, it presents as the rest of the flow.
Those are all piers out there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Are you gonna change any of the entrance or exit to, I'm not sure how it is now, it'll still say
Yeah,
this.
it'll stay the same exact egress and ingress.
Okay.
Any other questions from the commission? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Real quickly, I do apologize, I just realized that I forgot they've gone, shown the finals development plan up there, maybe that answers some of our questions. There, as you can see, is the landscape plan, for it. So that area here on the right-hand side of the screen, this part, this is the area that will, where the parking structure sits right now. And so when it's gone, this will be the additional landscaping that they have down there. So essentially, this area here right now is covered by impervious surface. Once the parking structure is gone, this area will be impervious. Excuse me, will be pervious, green space. So that's where the main increase of green space is coming. Apologies, yeah, I looked up there and realized I hadn't gone to the actual final development plan. Sorry about that.
Okay, does commission have any additional questions for the applicant and staff? Is there a motion?
I move that the planning commission approve PUD 26000001 with conditions, the IKEA parking structure final development plan.
Staff recommendation? Was there any staff recommendation?
I believe it was, yeah, so, it does need to include, yeah, cause we were looking for, it needs to provide a photometric plan for it, if I remember correctly. So, yes, there is staff conditions on there. Yep, photometric plan, so yes, need a motion approved with staff conditions. Apologies.
Go ahead and stick with staff conditions.
With staff condition.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Got a lot of work ahead of me.
Okay. Mr. Dyer.
Okay, I
Any
got-
business from the floor?
I don't have any business on the floor, or any old business, but I will cover, a lot of things that continue to happen and keep the planning commission up to date, and give you all the opportunity to ask any questions about, things that are going on. I think folks who may or may not have heard, the city council is in conversations with the property owner, R.S. Johnson on Merriam Town Center in regards to, facilitating a grocery store to be located in that facility, so those conversations continue. It would be in an existing, business, or existing space over there, so unless they are looking to do some major, facade changes, such as what they did with the furniture store, we may not even need to come to the planning commission, because, grocery store is allowed use over there for retail use. So, but I did want to let you know that those conversations are going on, for many years, we didn't have any grocery stores, and now it looks like we may have two, so, yeah. Merriam Marketplace, that's what's happening right over here. The Trader Joe's building, they're doing the tin finish right now, it continues to be going, at schedule, so, seems to be going just fine, they're doing a great job over there, so we're anticipating that. Again, fallish is what we're hopefully being told of an opening day over there. Also, if you drive by, where the old Shell station was at, you may notice a lot of concrete trucks coming in and going there in their pier, over the piers, so they gotta put a number of piers in there for the foundation. So that's the first activity that's going on. I think I saw 6 concrete trucks over there this afternoon. So that's what's going on there. Again, that will be called the Serrano, so as we continue to go forward, if you hear, references to the Serrano apartment building, that's that. And just to let you know, some of you may or may not know, why it is called the Serrano. I think it's important folks know that now. Joseph Serrano was our bond counsel with Kutek Rock for many, many years, a great individual, great guy. So a couple of years ago, right around Christmas time, he unexpectedly passed away. So, in honor of him, that's why the developer is named the Serranos. So again, folks, if you questions, that's the story why it's being called that. The Genesis Automobile Dealership down at the old, what we call, the old Holiday House, that is going on great. They've been getting on going there, getting going, meeting schedules and stuff like that. Did want to let you know that the building that sits behind it is called ProSource. That building, ProSource was a flooring company that was back there. They, I don't know if they didn't want to renew the lease, or if Genesis didn't renew the lease, but they will no longer be in there later this summer. And so Genesis is going to take over that space and utilize it for their dealership. Again, no exterior changes on that. They're not planning on it. It's primarily, I believe, going to be probably for detailing and stuff like that. So probably not have any requirement for any kind of planning commission actions. Downtown Merriam, my first thing I want to let you know, and I will send out more information about this either tomorrow, Friday, this Monday on June 8th at 7 o'clock. The Corps of Engineers will make a presentation on their plan for flood mitigation to the city council. That will be at the community center. So that is right now the only time that's scheduled for the Corps to make a formal presentation. So if you're able, I would encourage you all to attend. We are going to notice the meeting. That planning commissioner will be there, so we have more than a quorum. That's perfectly fine. We've done the proper notifications of it. But again, it is going to be probably the best opportunity to get the Corps' presentation of what their flood mitigation plan is for downtown. Not only downtown, but the stretch from Shawnee Mission Parkway to where the Merriam Drive Bridge goes over Turkey Creek. So They will have their staffers there. It'll be so a little bit about how the format of the meeting is gonna go, at least the last I heard. It's gonna be a regular council meeting. We'll take care of a few council business items, and then the court's gonna give their presentation, and they'll ask, council can ask questions of the court. And then in order to give everybody the opportunity to get all the public questions answered, we're gonna have, we'll close the meeting and go to a open house forum. So the court's gonna have boards set up on all the corners, and people will be able, and property owners will be able to go ask the court specific questions about their specific property, because information about easements and all that information is gonna be readily available. So it'll be a really informative meeting. I think it's gonna be very important that property owners and folks that are, particularly property owners and then the general public, but folks that are gonna be potentially impacted by the project, get their questions answered. And they will have the opportunity to get them answered, because the court will be there, as the folks who obviously know that project the best.
So that's June the 8th
That's Monday the 8th.
at
The community center, Merriam Community Center.
At what time?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, and I will send out when the agenda, is posted and it has the board, commission packet in, I will send a link out to everybody, cause, it will have some additional information in there, mainly some, hopefully, I believe an FAQ and some graphics, at least last I knew that was gonna be part of it, so. So I will, again, if you're able and available, it'd be a great opportunity to learn, a lot about that project.
I would highly encourage commission to make that meeting, to show a solidarity for the commission, what we might be after or whatever. Because this will be probably one of the very few times maybe that we'll be able to have that amount of information in front of us. Would that make sense, Brian?
Yeah, that did make sense, cause, it is gonna be the time, to hear the core, again, we've worked with them on those plans, but they're the experts on those things, so they're the ones that will be able to give the answers to those kind of questions, so.
Feel free to technically ask questions to the core. They love to be asked technical questions, okay? Just throwing that out there to everybody. That's their expertise, and so if you've got questions like that, feel free to throw it out there in front of them.
So also continue with downtown, cause we're staying very busy with that, on the 24th of June at the community center. Again, I will send out more information about this as well. There, from 4 to 6 o'clock, at the community center, there'll be a drop-in open house opportunity for residents to, property owners, business owners, residents, to come and, give more opinions about what they feel for downtown, what their vision for downtown is, what they would like to see in downtown. So it's gonna be kind of a drop-in format, so, folks don't have to be there for a full 2 hours. Obviously, taking 2 hours out of the day can be difficult, especially in the evening, so it's gonna be kind of drop-in format, so folks wanna come in for 2 minutes, 20 minutes, 2 hours, they're certainly available, to do that, but it's gonna be, again, a great opportunity to, gather information and also make opinions known. And then on July
I'm gonna
20.
interject something real quick, and specifically for the people that are also on the steering committee for downtown, it would probably be a good idea to at least a couple of those to make a showing, so that, you meet some of the residents who have questions, concerns, et cetera. Help you with your own decision-making processes. Thank you.
Sure, it's gonna be from 4 to 6, so 4 in the afternoon to 6 in the evening, down at the community center on July 24th. Excuse me, June 24th. I got July, because July's my next thing. Yeah, June 24th, thank you.
Brian?
Yeah.
I have another question about the open house formats.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be like notes taken or distributed after the open house to kind of see what the common questions are, just what the concerns are?
Yeah, yes, there will be. I'm just double checking, I might get the right date too. Yes, there will be. So that will be, that will be, actually, I said June 24th, June 25th, excuse me, that's what I need to check. So Thursday, June 25th. So it's June 25th on Thursday. So, yes, they, the consultant, Shocking Associates, who are the consultant doing this, have done an excellent job of keeping track of all those things. That is, they will be monitoring it, they'll take photographs, they'll take notes, they'll take recordings of it. So yes, they will be, recording what the outcomes are. So.
Who's recording that now?
The consultant,
Oh, the consultant.
Yeah, the consultants.
And is that for both the core and the downtown planning commission, or?
So, the core meeting will also be recorded as well.
Please ask the core before you start recording if it's okay with them.
They know, already had the conversation. So we've already, we had a meeting with them just to run through what the setup of the room's gonna be. So they know that it's gonna be taped.
And the core is very touchy about recorders.
Yeah, they're also touchy about making sure that they only use their laptops, so. So, I apologize, so that is June 25th, that is Thursday, June 25th. Again, I will send out more information about that as well. So, moving to July for downtown, so July 21st is the next steering committee meeting. So that will be, again, at 6 o'clock, more information will be coming out that. Just as a reminder, our steering committee, planning commission steering committee members are Commissioner Dillon, Commissioner Fowler, Commissioner McConnell, and Commissioner Lane. So they are, the planning commission is well represented on this steering committee. So that's where the downtown master plan's at right now. We're moving along, it's going well. I'm getting a lot of information, feedback from folks. And when I send out more reminders, we've also have a really robust webpage to let folks do online input. You can put pins on a map and things like that. I will send that information out there as well to you also when we saw that stuff. So
I want to commend the commissioner that are on that steering committee. I want to thank you for taking the time and the effort. It's very important. It's going to become a legacy and infamy before it's over with. And as it progresses, it comes to fruition.
And then still sticking with Merriam Drive, just a little bit of update, because I know the city continues to take opportunities to purchase property that becomes available. So since we last met, I believe, I don't believe I informed you, we purchased KC Strings. So KC Strings has been purchased by the city. They are in the process, they can remain on their site for about 12 months. They're in the process of moving to their new site, which is 5439 Merriam Drive. That is the building that's directly across Merriam Drive from Sonic. So it sits right there at Merriam Drive and where the Turkey Creek trail goes. So they're in the process, they have purchased that building and they're in the process of working on renovating that. That's where they will be moving to. We've also purchased 5717 Kessler. If you're the old Irene B. French Center, it is the building that's directly to the east of that. It's a very nondescript, low warehouse building, metal building. So purchased that, and the tenant there still has leased to the tenant. So the tenant will stay there for, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 years, but they do have a time frame that they will remain in there. And then we have also purchased anybody here remember the Dutch Maid Inn? The Dutch Maid Inn used to be located, I believe you wish, at 50th and Terrace. So right now, 50th and Terrace on the west side, there's a crashed lot. That's where the Dutch Maid was located at. We have purchased 2 of the 3 houses to the south of that. So we purchased the one immediately next to that property, and then the one that is down at 51st Street, and then the one in between. So we have to answer any questions the planning commissioners have about any kind of development.
bring up one in relation to developments. Sorry, were you about to say something, Mitchell?
Yeah, I was questioning that it pertain to the property you just talked about. I was wondering about the old Jack in the Box.
Oh,
Building.
yeah, that's an excellent question. So, Jack in the Box is, I think the news is reported that it's gonna be a Bojangles, which we have received, tenant finish plans for that. However, the permit's not been issued yet. Still waiting to hear who the contractors are. Talking with the property owner, they indicated hopefully later this month, first of next month, we'll have the contractors signed and be able to pull the permit. So yeah, so it has been, they've been working on it, and we do have plans for it to be a Bojangles, just haven't got they haven't put the contractors down there.
All right. I'm gonna do my usual shtick. So I just wanna continue to reiterate, especially with the continued development along China Mission Parkway, on both sides, with the Grand Station, et cetera, that we continue to investigate ways to create an overpass, a walking overpass across China Mission Parkway. I would also continue to say that I think that Merriam will miss an opportunity if that is something only utilitarian. I think it needs to be something, given where it's at in regards to both I-35 and the state highway that Shawnee Mission Parkway is. It's an opportunity to make that something a little more unique and symbolizes Merriam in and of itself from an artistic perspective. So I just want to see what the commission's thoughts are on that, get a consensus that you're behind that kind of thinking, continue to ask you to put your consensus behind that kind of thinking. So I open up to you guys to make any comments around that, so that we can keep city council hot on pressuring development in that regard.
Roman for discussion.
I'd like to make a comment in support of that also, especially when we've got the new development on that south side that's attracting more people, and I've got 2 young kids that are now walking and riding scooters and going down there, and we have rules now, they cannot go south of Shawnee Mission Parkway. This is the highway, you do not cross that. And with the development coming on the north side now too, there's gonna be more of that and more kids and more families walking around, so it's important to me as well.
Yeah, I'll echo both of those sentiments. Just like Nina said, with all the additional housing going in, there's gonna be a lot of, I think, demand for folks to get back across Shawnee Mission Parkway to and fro. And so, just out of pure necessity, as far as making those developments the most successful they can be, I think prioritizing the, safe passage over that treacherous stretch of road is important.
And preventing the use of cars, because I know a lot of people will be like, yeah, I'm not walking across, I'm gonna drive just to go across the street to the grocery store. And that's a real burden on an already slowly saturating traffic flow. I think it's still very well managed, but the less we can put on that is the better.
I would agree with that as well. And from the previous presentation about the Diamond interchange potentially going in Shawnee Mission Parkway and the change of the traffic further down the road to help with calming, I think that's a great way to dovetail calming that traffic and providing that additional transportation for the pedestrians over to just make it a more manageable crossing. Just using both. We haven't heard any updates on the Diamond interchange halfway because it was still a little bit in development with the bridge piece, correct?
Pardon?
The Diamond interchange on Shawnee Mission Parkway, wasn't there also a tie-in component with the railroad bridge?
So that Diamond exchange the railroad bridge came into play if it's gonna be touched. That was really kind of a cost issue. If the bridge gets touched, it's gotta be redone to meet new railroad standards, so it was more of a cost issue.
Okay.
So it was, obviously, if the bridge had to be redone, it would increase the cost.
if there's an opportunity when the Diamond Interchange eventually, hopefully comes to fruition, maybe that'd be a good time to look at that overhead connection as well, if there's already mobilization.
I've been nodding my head through all of this because I agree. I hear all of those same things, yeah. Those, being able to reduce traffic, yield traffic, I guess, and increase foot traffic is important.
Now, what is the objections to a tunnel?
I don't think there is objections to the tunnel. I think all ideas are on board, so, yeah.
I think, 87th Street, is it Blackman? There's a tunnel they did a few years ago. That seems to be worked well.
Yeah, I would say there's all options are on the table. Main thing is try to get folks, over, across, under Shawnee Mission Parkway without having to worry about getting, interacting with cars.
Yeah, I'm all for either one, honestly. I think in the past, there's been more challenges around the idea of a tunnel from a structural easements, right-of-way, interstate, as a highway. But if it can happen, it's still getting people across safely, I'm all for it. I think my only thing was that if it was overhead, let's make it something cool. Let's make it, that was really the only difference, I think. But getting humans across safely is really, I agree, my priority as well, man.
I got a comment on the tunnel. I was just thinking about the utilities involved in tunneling across Shawnee Mission Parkway. I don't know what utilities run across that way. Cost-wise, maybe overpass would be better, maybe. You just have to add it up and see what's gonna work the best. But something's gonna have to be. We're gonna basically outrun that intersection right now as far as congestion and traffic is concerned.
So I think it's consensus of the commission. They're gonna keep this open, and I don't know if we need any stronger verbiage or anything, or pass anything, or whatever.
No, I think it's consensus, and the minutes reflect the comments that have been made. And I think it's the council member here.
Yeah. We know it's not going to be cheap, but you can't place dollars on life. And, it's one of those things that is going to come to fruition. It's not if, it's when. So it's just a matter of everybody getting on board, figuring out something that's gonna work for the city, that's gonna be great for the city. So.
Is there any other questions? Cause that was it on my presentation.
Yeah, I had another question on the Shawnee Mission Parkway. You mentioned the railroad bridge. Is there a number or footage number on raising the bridge higher?
There is. I do not know what that is, but yeah, it's, per, the current railroad regulations, it's too low. So, yeah, if we touch it, it has to get raised. And so that's why when we're talking about the Shawnee Mission Parkway Divergent Diamond Plan, that's why, if you recall, there was a pretty big difference in numbers there. It was a differentiation between if we, were able to do the Divergent Diamond Bridge without, having to do the railroad bridge, or if we had to do, both the railroad bridge and the Divergent Diamond Bridge.
So will the railroad contribute to the cost of the raising, or is that gonna be on the city?
Most likely not.
Well, I'm just thinking about when Olathe did their thing back in the day. I don't know who picked up the tab on that.
Yeah, the majority of that, I believe, was federal transportation dollars, and I do believe the railroad probably did contribute some to that. That was multi-million, that project was very, very large. So I do believe the railroad probably did contribute, but I think the majority of that was, transportation money, federal transportation funds.
So by Shawnee Mission Parkway being, facilitated by the state, would KDOT be into financing some of the railroad
Yeah.
bridge?
Yeah, most likely, and most likely they would be able to tap similar funds for that project as well. So yes, if and when the Shawnee Mission Parkway, bridge gets, redone to a Virgin Diamond, project, it would obviously be a KDOT project, cause that is their bridge, that is their highway, and the majority of the funding would be transportation funds probably from the state and federal levels.
Brian, is there the potential for federal funding for a pedestrian crossing of some kind over Shawnee Mission
For
Parkway?
sure, if we get to the point, when we get to the point of really having plans, ideas, budgets, yeah, they would definitely, the city in partners with the local, county, state, we would definitely be looking for federal grants for that, for sure. Yeah, or any grants where we can find that, and there would be opportunities for those as well. Yeah, we definitely be looking for assistance.
Even hate to think about this, but I'm gonna throw it out. Someday they'll open it up and go, oh, maybe. Down on Johnson Drive, is there any feasible way of getting rid of the railroad track?
So actually, no, that question has been posed before by the city council. Not get rid of the elevator. And there is, and if you. Yeah, they actually, I believe I'd have to look, I do believe there is more information about that. But yes, it has been, looked at a very, very high level to get a magnitude of cost. So I will put that on the list to get that, yes, so that has been looked at.
The reason I bring that up is with the traffic now coming up here, down, with the traffic at IKEA, the traffic that's going to be wanting to get in to Aldi's and all that. When the train comes through, it gets very nasty.
Oh, it's.
And dangerous.
We've taken, we have and continue to take a look at that.
Yeah, put that on your list. Christmas will be fun. Commission have any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a adjournment to the meeting. Motion.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that. See you in December. No, don't record that. Yeah, it takes a while to get stuff on the books. Thank you, everybody, for coming this evening.
I will. I knew him, kids. Yeah, way around with his kids.
Good night, Billy.
Hi, John.
He's little, he's up. Yeah, he walked in and said, I'm telling you, my kids will get any of my inheritance. They will not earn their own. I will not sit there.
Have a nice one. Thank you for your service.
You ready to turn out the lights here, folks?
Turn the lights off and watch the Royals game.
Turn the lights off and watch the Knicks Spurs game. If you're. That is exactly what happened. I was watch the game and they say, oh, wake up, like, it's over.
Yes, that's why him back in the 80s or 70s with Michael Jordan and everything, yeah, he was watching.
Howdy, Daniel.
Summer off to a good start.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Any good rides?
You good ride? That bike ride? No, but I need to. You know?
Like, we're wasting all of this moderate weather, you know, it's gonna be balmy before we know.
Yeah. We'll all get out there before long, I promise.
See you on the road.
See you. Mitch, you are wise. You are wise to think about utilities, because you are wise to think about utilities regarding that tunnel idea. Because we just spent like $10 million putting those high voltage lines along Shawnee Mission Parkway, and I guarantee they're not. They're probably like 5, 6 feet, something like that, maybe 4 feet. Who knows? But the tunnel's gonna interfere with that.
Anytime you dig around a place like that, there's always gonna be an issue with utilities.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, time will tell, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's just fantastically graceful, coordinated, just a well-spoken, he's just such a well-spoken, he is so, yeah, it's really cool. Well, I got pictures of Jordan. When he came in for an exhibition game. That was a long time ago. Anyway, his roommate was Kochek. He went to college with, and Kochek was an uncle to Sarah Fearborn.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Fearborn. Yeah.
Howdy. Doing good. Doing good.
Anyway, Sarah.
Sure.
Jim Harbaugh. Yeah. Okay. And my daughter is still really good friends with Sarah. So everyone's like, what family doing? Oh, how she wants to wring his neck half the time. But anyway, she was one of the forces in moving to San Diego. And she hated it. Yeah. You guys have a good evening.
Just a
small story from the evening.
Brian, I had a code question for you.
What's up, Bill?
Poles on parking lots, when they have like signs or apparatuses in and around a parking lot that's open to the public?
Is it a private or public parking lot?
I think it's private.
So most likely, for code wise, no, there's no codes in regards to that.
To what they can have like on the islands and like the safety, like the crash safety of them.
That's.
That'd be their insurance company?
Yeah, that's gonna be them and their insurance company and their own maintenance stuff, but yeah, we wouldn't have any code requirements for those.
Is town center all private?
Yeah.
Everything like inside of, you know, once you leave Antioch or Johnson, it's all private. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. I was just curious. You too. Good meeting.
Yeah. Good night.
You too.
appreciate that.